Okay, all right. So, what was you saying?
No, I was saying, they say the people that filed it early already are like we have to wait, and the people that didn't are the ones that got their stimulus.
I didn't even get the first one.
You didn't get the first one?
I get.
Damn.
So. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Knife Period Podcast. It's Barry, aka the poor person, the unstimulated prospect.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So right now today, we got a more serious, not really serious, but like oh wait, yo, put this down. They're not paying me. That's yours. What?
Barry.
Yo, what you gonna do if they not paying you? You gonna leave it there?
Nah, you right.
Exactly.
No free sponsors.
So yeah, we're back with another episode of the Ninth Period Podcast. We got my friend from like what was it like fourth, fifth grade.
Is it? When did you come to 140?
I came to 140 in third grade, but I got left back in fourth.
But I was 140 since pre-K, so
Oh yeah,
so I don't even remember
guess
the
since
year.
Probably like my second year, fourth grade.
God.
Yeah. I ain't gonna front. We're gonna talk about like my fourth grade experiences in
okay.
this episode because
Since I mean it is education, so
so she just spoiled it. So it's about
Sorry.
education. Nah, I don't really care.
okay.
It's about education, because actually I wanted to get her on my podcast like early, like 2019, 2020, because I was working with some dude named Curry, some black some black guy, black as hell.
That's the one you told me about.
Yeah,
Right.
He's a Trump supporter, and
That don't even go together. Like
yo, he's black from Flatbush. He'll come to work with like a big wooden stick, like an Assassin's Creed sweater, and he would switch it up whether he had the black Make American Great Again hat or
he was
the
wearing
red.
a MAGA hat?
Yeah, he had flavors in the MAGA hat.
Oh wow.
So it's like it was between you and my man's Bishop that I wanted to get on here to talk to him about it, but I was scared that Bishop might snuff that nigga,
Right.
and I was scared that you might snuff him.
Not snuff him.
You would have snuffed him.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like his takes on black people was just like some of the most craziest shit. Like if you worked at HMS with me at the airport, you know who I'm talking about. Like you know his thoughts on a lot of
He's
things.
really ignorant.
Yeah, man.
Sad.
I can't remember half the shit that he was saying right now.
You don't need to though. That's the you don't need to remember that because whatever it is gone and no, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I got on this episode here because it was a while ago, like probably like 2018, probably 17, probably early 2018.
What?
Like you remember we was like on your block and you was telling me about like you wanted to be a teacher to principal, you want to just change like the whole curriculum and stuff like that.
Right. Ooh, I had big aspirations.
What happened? You don't got them no more?
I do, but it's just like I've been in education for like a little time now, and the whole politics of education sometimes just really makes you feel like, do I need to stay here that long to?
But if you think about it, that's really everything. And like there's politics in everything. So it's like you just gotta figure out how to weave through most of the stuff to get to where you need to go. Because I ain't gonna feel like I could see you as a principal, like other than the
but you're not the
we
first
had.
person to say that. You're not the first person to say that you see me as a principal.
On your birthday, I told you happy birthday, Principal Belkin.
You did.
Oh,
the government. Nah, that's all right. The kids call me that, so
yeah,
that's okay.
But like think about it. Like I could see you as as a mixture of Principal Brittenham and Taylor Brown, just not a lot of hot bro type of shit. I didn't believe that until like I had a conversation with her. Like, her she was a little steamy.
I feel like principal wise, I think Brittenham would be my like top inspiration as far as like.
Oh, she's your spirit animal?
Yeah, like I don't know, Miss Brittenham, she had everything on lock. Like being a teacher now, like looking up numbers, like because I had looked up numbers of 140 and stuff like that. Like the school was doing pretty good as far as like testing goes.
Yeah.
Now it's not. Like I don't know who's the principal now, but it's like you can see the difference in schools based on who's the principal.
Yeah.
So it's like she would be my spirit animal, so to speak, because she had everything on lock.
Yeah, I remember the times when she was coming into our classes talking about how the state test is coming up. She gave an example on somebody's state test, like how somebody connected the dots to their answers. She was blacking on that. She's like, I don't understand what's going on in y'all
like
heads.
What would possess you to do something like that on a state test?
Yeah.
Right.
And like when she'll black on you, like she blacking on you. I remember she was like, "You want to go to PS40? You want to go to school to projects?"
Remember she used to have like the shows or whatever in the auditorium.
Yeah.
And whenever we got too loud as the audience, she would like go off. Up. And then I remember one time she had the microphone and she got mad. She had a mic because she was so loud. She didn't need the mic. So she got mad. She had the mic and like threw the mic. I remember that. I remember
the first day I met Terrence. I got suspended with him because we left. All right, so it was just a fucked up day because we had lunch, then we had an assembly after, but we didn't know that we had an assembly. So we was like just running through the school. We go through like the staircase in the back, like by like the kindergarten side, and we heard Mr. DeFreitas coming downstairs. Yeah. So like, oh nah. So we ran through the lunchroom into the auditorium, and Miss Britton was talking at the time. So just imagine five kids just running in the shit. She was like, "Oh, y'all suspended." I was like,
you see, as a kid, that's funny. But then as a teacher now, I would think, what would possess you to think you could run from one side of the school to the other? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I just didn't understand why we ran to the auditorium, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what possessed y'all to even be running in the first place?
And honestly, like I said, that's the first day I met Terrence.
Thick as Steve's.
Huh?
I said y'all been thick as Steve's.
Oh.
Thick as Steve's. Yeah, oh. Well, I mean.
My bad, collard greens. So,
Yo. Not collard greens.
Listen, I never heard Thick as Steve's.
Never heard of Thick as Steve's?
No. I'm not a criminal.
I know you lying. You've never heard people like, oh yeah, like they Thick as Steve's.
Never in my life.
You lying.
I swear to God, I ain't heard that.
You don't remember.
I've heard Ace Boone Coon, 2 peas in the pod. I ain't never heard.
You've never heard Thick as Steve's?
No.
That's crazy.
I'm Nigerian. Like,
what that mean?
When am I hearing shit like that?
My parents not from here either.
But you heard that in your house?
No, I heard that in like school or something.
My point exactly. My point exactly.
In like school or something. I don't know. Maybe in a show. I heard it like Disney. You know Disney shit.
Yeah, but it was like a while. I think like December. I was working in like some warehouse shit, and the thing that I like about myself is that like I remember so much things that I really shouldn't really remember, but I remember something and it kind of triggered me a little bit. I remember being in 140, right? We were in the auditorium, and we was watching a documentary about jail, and it's like. And it's not like on some shit where it's just like
it wasn't preventative.
Nah, we're literally learning about it on some shit like.
What was this?
I don't remember, but I literally remember being in the 4th row in the front on the left side. Everybody not even paying attention, but I'm watching this shit. Like we're learning about $1.50s. They have graphic. It's like 3rd, 4th grade type of shit. They have graphic.
I don't remember
visuals of this shit. I remember that.
Oh, that don't sound nice.
Because, like I said, I was paying attention. Because, like, I'm just like, why are we watching this? But, like, everybody, it was like one of those assemblies where just like, oh, it wasn't even an assembly. You know, after the lunch where we would just watch stuff.
Right.
It was something like that. But out of all things, why is that
jail?
On?
Yeah, that's weird.
So it's like, well, I'm learning about jail. I'm learning about $1.50s, gangs in jail. That was racially divided. And I'm like, why do I know this? So I asked my cousin. He lives in Long Island, like deep in Long Island.
Oh.
So I asked him, I was like, when did you first learn about like what a $1.50 is? He said like to his teens or some shit like that.
Right.
And I was like, we were just talking about like just the differences between going to school out here and going to school out there. It's just like He was like, yo, y'all are taking public transportation.
Right. You know, New York City is like I'm not sure if it is but it's one of the most segregated school systems in the country.
Yeah.
Like segregated. Like you're more likely to have a white friend down south than you are in New York City public school.
Definitely.
And it's like I never really had a white friend until I went to high school, and that's only because I went to high school in Long Island City.
Yeah.
If I'd have stayed with everybody else, I'd have been in Doza or something, and I probably wouldn't have had any white friends ever. So it's like, it's super segregated. So like that's like, but even you remembering that shows the difference in the segregation in the schools.
Yeah.
Because you learned that at what age, and he never learned it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, I remember, I'll go to my cousin's house almost every summer.
What part of Long Island?
Kid. I'm Huntington.
Oh, that's deep.
Exactly. So, I'll spend my summers there almost every single year, right?
Right.
I used to a lot of niggas be like, I got a mansion in Huntington. Again, I'm gonna see y'all niggas in the hood when I get back. Fronting, it's my family's
house. I mean, it's still your family's house.
Yeah, but you know, there was only one person that contested it. He was like, "You don't got no fucking mansion, nigga. You as broke as I am."
We used to still live in this. We used to go to the same school.
Yeah. So I remember you know how you said you had a white friend when you got to high school. I had I wouldn't say white friends, but like
you knew.
I knew them, and they were telling me about like some of the stuff that they was doing in science class and like cutting open frogs and shit like that. And it's like, I remember my science class was the same thing every year. We learn about rocks.
Right.
Probably do a little lava thing. Probably do the little caterpillar into a butterfly thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it.
You don't want to know why?
Why is that?
Because they pay taxes out there for that. We go to public school. Okay. We get the budget that the mayor gives us in public school. Unless you go to a charter school, which is privately funded. But that's why they have so much better stuff out there and better materials, because they pay extra taxes for that.
Yeah.
And we don't get that funding. And like a lot of public schools, public school funding is based on your scores. Like if your school is failing, like score wise, you don't get.
You're not getting anything.
You're not getting funded, which really defeats the purpose, because if my students are failing, that means I need more money.
Yeah.
If I need more money, because if I get the money, I can provide them with the materials for them to start to pass.
Yeah.
But if you don't give me any money, it's a setup. But that's the difference. Like I used to want to cut open frogs too in science.
Yeah.
And we had nothing. But at first, like when you're a kid,
was just thick ass textbooks.
Right, and like as kids, you're like, damn, like you think it's their fault, but as a teacher now, it's really not their fault, and they really did what they could do with what they had.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it now on Zoom.
Yeah.
Like I'm teaching from the computer, or I go in.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I go in to teach from the computer.
Oh, there's no students in there.
No, I don't. I'm a specials. I teach African American studies.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have a class. I teach multiple classes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in a classroom by myself teaching from my computer.
Wow.
What's the point? I don't know. But still, even when a teacher has a couple of students, the max they have is like 5 students in the classroom. You're still teaching the rest of the 20-something students through the laptop.
Through the computer,
And you're not even talking directly to those students in the classroom, because they're on the laptops as well. Because everybody has a laptop. So I'm the teacher, you're the student. I'm not talking to you directly like this. I'm talking to you through the Zoom, and everybody in class has headphones in.
Yeah.
Like that in itself is just like weird, but it's all making the best of what you have in that moment or for that time period.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know, like I really wish we could have had more funding, but when you compare 140 to other schools, we were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Compared, because PS40 didn't get nothing. I mean, they're doing much better now. I actually student taught at PS40.
Okay.
That's where I did my entire St. John's. I observed and all of that at PS40. But it's all about funding. It's the government. I mean, I don't know if you know, back in June of 2020, de Blasio cut the education budget again.
Oh yeah, I remember the outrage from that. You even had
because why are you cutting the budget in the middle of a pandemic? Mm-hmm. You still have to provide these students with laptops, books, materials. Like, I didn't even know until the other day. Like 20% of my students I work in Harlem are homeless.
What are you serious?
They're in shelters. Wow. I don't know if it's as much as 20, but a large amount of our students are living in shelters, and it's like you're cutting the budget. And we have to provide materials for these students because they're not in school. Like, we can't say, well, they're going to be in school, so they're going to have access to it in school. They're not in school anymore. Mm-hmm. So what's the sense in cutting you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you cutting the budget? That's the education budget is always the first budget to be cut. Mm-hmm. But NYPD is getting new Teslas. You see? It's prioritizing what matters more. Because most of their kids go to private school, so it really doesn't matter. They pay for their education. Mm-hmm. They don't care about the public school kids. Not even.
All the way backwards.
Not the ghetto public school kids, because those public schools in Manhattan, they're good.
They ain't bread.
They're good. Mm-hmm. They have materials. They have nice laptops. They have this. They have that. It's the Black and Hispanic neighborhoods that don't have anything. Mm-hmm. And but that's still public school though. Yeah. So you could like even in, I don't know how to say it, even though it's segregated between like private, Catholic, and public, you know, it's still segregated within the public, because you can go to a public school in Manhattan and you could be like, this is a private school. Mm-hmm. It would feel like that, but it's not. Yeah. But you go to Southside,
you gonna feel that shit.
You gonna feel it. Textbooks are old. Laptops are old. Laptops missing keys. And it's like, why? Like, if you don't provide them with materials to succeed, how do you expect them to?
Exactly.
But they don't.
And then then they wonder, why do they act like this? Why does this happen in these neighborhoods? Mm-hmm. How about you look at the funding? How about you look at the resources that's given to us?
They don't give them the resources. They can't, but they don't want to. That's why it's
not even that they can't. They don't want to.
They don't want to.
Yeah. Because this has literally been an ongoing discussion, an ongoing problem for years now.
Decades. Like, literally decades. Like, school, like, 90s, decades. And it was worse in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, it was way worse.
Way worse. But still, it's all about funding, and it's all about where they're prioritizing the funding, and it's all about data and student test scores and this and that. Like, I don't know. I want to be a principal, but that's a lot of pressure.
You got to be principal. Yo, you've been dealing with pressure your whole life.
You absolutely right.
Bro, you like 6'2". Niggas wanted you to
not
play in the
6'2".
WNBA.
I'm not 6'2", guys. I'm like 5'9".
Bro, you're 6'2".
I'm like 5'9".
We wanted you to play in that WNBA.
Nah. Not the WNBA. Y'all really used to call... Somebody used to call me Shaq's daughter at 140.
Terrence.
Was it Terrence?
Yeah.
I think, okay.
Y'all
just used to be jealous because I was taller than y'all before y'all hit puberty.
You wasn't taller than me.
I wasn't taller than you. I was taller than most of you guys before you guys hit puberty.
I just joined in calling you taller.
Right. Because, you know, because kids are cruel, so.
Listen, none of y'all had it the way I had it.
No,
so.
You're absolutely right. That's why, I just... Kids. That's why I said kids are cruel.
Yeah, that's why.
Kids are really cruel.
When I joined in on the ass cutting with everybody, nobody could tell me anything.
Because you were
niggas violated me because of my name.
Right.
Because of my ethnicity.
Right.
Because I had big lips.
Right.
I had glasses.
Mm-hmm. And you was mad tall, so it was. I know.
And I was shy, so it was just like it was nothing I could really do about it.
You weren't the type off rip to just clap back immediately, and they knew that.
Yeah, because I wasn't like the typical person that's always
in your face,
quick with the jokes.
Yeah.
Because like I looked at them like at those people, like they were just like blessed with a gift. Like I don't have the. You say something, I got that right back.
Real quick, yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
It is a talent. It is a talent.
It's too late.
Right.
Like the same way I look at people who could draw, who could cut ass, fucking could whistle. I can't really whistle well.
I know how to whistle. You know how to whistle? I can't whistle no more. I can't whistle in the house, so I forgot how to whistle. That's a rule.
I can see your mom telling you don't whistle.
And they can't tell us why.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy. Like my mom, she wasn't as foul as y'all parents. Well, I wouldn't say foul, but like as all the way strict.
My mom is strict. Yeah, she is.
Yeah. I've seen how strict she was when I was a kid.
Oh, because she was definitely in the school building. Yeah. You're absolutely right. She did not play with nobody. Imagine that. You know how that felt? Everywhere I go, my mother is in the building.
But that was also like the other girl whose mother worked in the school, Brianna. I don't want to say a full government because I remember her last name.
Oh, well, tell me after.
Well, I got edit out. Brianna Jacola.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember her mom?
Yeah. She knows my brother and my sister because they went to 142. Oh. That's how long she worked in the office. Because my brother and my sister are like in their 30s.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest. I'm a decade baby. Like
I am too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she knows them. But it's weird being in a building with your mom every day. But I don't know.
But how was it? Was it even weird when your mom was working at your college?
No, I didn't see her. She was in another department, another building. As an education major, you don't see anybody but people in your major. Like, we're such a close.
Yeah, because you're just around people that's in those classes anyway.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I minored in history. So it was like a history cluster of people and then an education cluster of people. Right. Because there was only 90 of us in education.
Yeah, I remember your graduation. It was pretty.
We were the smallest school.
Yeah, like your like department. It was like a pretty short.
It was a short graduation.
Short list.
A short walk, right?
Yeah.
Only 90 of us.
Like I remember telling my friend, like, "Yo, when Imani go up, I'm gonna yell."
You couldn't even catch.
I was talking, and I heard your name. I just started yelling. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it was only 90 of us. Guess how many of us are black?
Oh yeah, it wasn't even a lot. It wasn't a lot of blacks.
5.
It was 5?
5.
Oh shit. Well,
5 out of 90.
Damn.
Exactly.
Damn. That's tough.
That's tough. It's bad.
But all right. Yeah,
that's bad. Like,
that's really bad. But what made you like want to be like a teacher?
A teacher? I didn't used to want to be a teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher till about like my sophomore year in high school. That's when I got my first SYP job. I was working in daycare.
I never got summer youth.
Really?
Never.
I didn't get it the first year. I was so sad that somehow I was so bored.
I never got it.
So I got it. I was like 16, and I'm working in daycare, and I'm like, I liked it. Like I really liked it. I really enjoyed having fun with the kids and doing silly stuff with them or whatever, but still helping them learn at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I used to go home like, Mom, I think I want to be a teacher because I like this feeling. Like I like working with kids. And then from then on, I just whenever I got picked or if I got picked, I made sure to pick a job that was with children. Because I just liked working with children. And then I started looking into education and what that entailed, what that meant, and whatever. And I decided that I was going to go to school to be a teacher.
Okay. Look, you have Caribbean parents. So
right.
How did they take that?
My parents were actually very supportive.
Okay.
My dad actually used to want to be a teacher himself. But he actually got swayed out of it.
Why is that?
Because there's no money in education. That's honestly a reason why there's only like 5 black students.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Because there's no money in education, absolutely, but then you complain when your children have white teachers that can't relate to their experiences, that can't relate to you, or teach them incorrect things, or don't teach them as important things to them because they're white.
Yeah.
And when you swayed black people or people of color from doing education, you're not helping.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna have an entire generation of white teachers teaching black children, and that, for me personally, is a problem. Because I went to school with those people. They're not for us. Okay, I've gotten to plenty of arguments on campus with with teachers, and I'm like, you're going into education with this racist or ignorant mentality. And you're supposed to be teaching children that look like me. But
doesn't make any sense.
But most of them go into education with the idea and notion to teach in Long Island anyway, which is also even worse because now you don't have people of color in education that want to teach our students in the public schools in the 5 boroughs. You have people that are coming from Long Island to go back into Long Island. So then who's going to teach us? That's the issue. But they were supportive. My mom was very supportive. My dad, he's actually pretty proud of me. Like, apparently he brags about it.
Because I feel like he sees it as like it was something that he wanted to do.
Right.
Even though it was like he went away from it. Seeing you wanting to do the same thing is just like, all right, bet. So it's just like, even if it doesn't work for me, even if it didn't work for me, I know it's gonna work for Imani because, like, you're not the kind of like person that would just really take no for an answer or just like quit very easily.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not. Listen, them 4 years as an education major was not easy. Like,
I can imagine.
Like, especially at St. John's, because they require you to take 6 classes a semester, and then you have to observe, do what you call.
To take 6 a semester.
Yes, it's required, and then you have to do observation hours on top of the 6 classes. And observation hours, like, say if I have 3 education classes at a time, I have to do like 10 hours per class, and now that's 30 hours that I have to complete for this semester. When am I going to do that if I'm in class from 9 to 1, then I work from 2 to 5? Right.
Yeah.
Dedication, okay?
Yeah, that's mad dedication.
It was hard. And then senior year, I had to student teach full time from 8 to 2, Monday through Friday.
I remember that.
Right, for free.
Yeah.
I had to do that for free. But I guess I would say I'm grateful for my parents because, like you said, being Caribbean or West Indian, most of them wouldn't be that supportive of their child pursuing education.
I feel like the whole trajectory of what worked back then is completely different now.
What do you mean?
Like all right, so it's like a lot of parents, right? The reason why I asked when I said like were your parents supportive of this change of like what you wanted to accomplish is because a lot of parents, they still have like they just have the mentality of how things worked back then. Like, yo, how are you gonna do this if this doesn't bring in this amount of money?
Right.
And what our parents or just people like just older, they don't realize that times literally have changed. That even if you're just doing this one thing, you can do other things
while I'm doing it. Yeah.
To make money because that's the point of having side hustles, multiple streams of incomes. These same motivational posts that we see, like, yo, you gotta have more than one income. Like, use your stimulus wisely.
Right. I had a conversation with one of my students about that before because their mother was like pushing them to do a certain program. And it's like, I understand why the parents pushing them to do certain programs because you're guaranteed to make money.
Yeah.
But it's like, if we continue to push our children to do things that just makes money, like, do they like it?
Yeah.
Like, that's why we have so many nurses that aren't not the nicest people because most of them are just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Like, keep it a buck. Ain't no teacher doing it for the bread because it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, you only start making money once you have, like, master's degrees, because every master's degree, you go up $10K.
Okay.
Master's degree, plus how many years you have, if you get your tenure, things like that. All of that affects. But you have to be teaching for years to be making a certain amount. And if you're making too much, principals can let you go because they don't want to fit that in their budget. Because it costs more to keep an older teacher than to hire me. Because you can hire me and pay me the minimum, and I'd be fine with that because I'm a novice teacher, or I'm like, it's my second year. You could pay me however much. You would let that teacher go to pay me less. So that also is an issue when it comes to education, because why that is a thing, I don't know.
Well, you said that they'll get rid of the older teacher
because they have to pay them more.
So I think, that's why that lady in my high school, she didn't want to retire. Like they were forcing her to retire. Because
everybody's pay, everybody's pay is in the budget.
Oh,
like the teachers' pays, it's in the budget for the school for the year. You have different budgets, and if you have teachers that are so well seasoned that they minimum they have to make is like $90K a year or something like that. That might put a hurt in your budget. Yeah. And if you want to be that much of an asshole and hire somebody else that's younger, just because you don't want to pay them that much, like that's not fair. Yeah. However, it happens. It happens all the time. Actually, it happened. That's why a lot of the 140 teachers that we know are gone. Yeah. Because that new principal pushed them out.
I seen. As a matter of fact, it was like probably like 2017, 2016, probably 2017. I seen Miss Davy. It was when I was working at my aunt's restaurant around the time. I seen Miss Davy. She was, and like I seen her. I was like, yo, I know this lady. And she just looked at me. She was like, you went to 140, didn't you? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. And like we were just talking and stuff like that. I asked her if she started school. She was like, hell no, I left years ago. So it was like,
it all went downhill. I think after the Freitas.
Yeah. I think once
they pushed him out, I think something like that. It was some type of thing.
Some type of debacle.
Yeah, they pushed him out, and of course, what happens for like most administrations, once one person goes and somebody else comes in, trying to outdo whoever was there first, like it becomes a competition, and then it's like I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna find another job because I don't want to have to deal with the nonsense. I'm not gonna deal with somebody who's new to this area, new to the school, telling me what to do for students that I know that have been here for how long.
Yeah, I don't think there's no outdoing Mr. DeFreitas.
There's no outdoing Mr. DeFreitas. There's no outdoing Ms. Britnum. Those are two spots that like you could try your best. Yeah. But you're never gonna be them. Yeah. You know, they can inspire you, but you can't be them. Yeah. But yeah.
Because one, Mr. DeFreitas, he enforced the law with the softest of tones.
Exactly.
He be like, yo, you're gonna sit down. You're gonna be quiet. And that's it.
Remember you had that hand thing? Huh? Remember you had that hand thing?
Oh, when you said everybody be quiet.
Right. And I remember, and I don't know if were you in Honor Society?
No.
Okay, so in Honor Society, we had practice. And he used to have his hand at his side. And when he made his fist, that meant to sit down. And the parents used to be so amazed. Like, how do they know how to sit down at the same? It's because DeFreitas had his fist right here. And he would go. And that meant to sit. Wow. But I've never seen somebody else do that.
Yeah, I've only seen stuff like that in like movies.
Movies, yeah. Lean on Me or whatever. Yeah. That's who he is. he the Lean on Me principal.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Wow, why not?
Honestly, I feel like it's a lot of like
it's based on a true story. Huh? It's based on a true story.
Yeah, I believe so. But it's like a lot of like movies that I should have seen that I really just like nah. Like Lean on Me. It's another one. Coolie High, I think.
You see Coolie High?
No.
You gotta watch Coolie High. Like, did you see Freedom Riders?
No. Well, no, yeah, I did.
That's a good one.
I almost cried when I watched that movie.
That's a good one.
Like, I really almost cried. I was like, damn, like this shit touched me.
It touched your heart.
Like, it made me think about like a lot of the few teachers I had that actually like really
made an impact.
Yeah, made an impact and actually like cared about me as a student. Like Miss Granville, Miss Snape, and Mr. Cargyle.
I don't remember Mr. Cargyle.
He was from 72.
Oh. Okay.
Tall math teacher.
I got you. Like, who was mine? Miss Miller.
Miss Miller. Yeah, I was scared of Miss Miller.
I was scared of Miss Miller too. I didn't appreciate Miss Miller till I left Miss Miller.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, she's one of those teachers that she's so rough, but you realize what she was doing. Like she was giving us exams from the year before. Yeah. That's illegal. You're not supposed to like give state tests.
Allegedly.
Wherever you are, Miss Miller, I'm not snitching. But allegedly, like I remember being in her class. I don't know what year it was, but the test that she gave us to practice was the year before. Shit. And Miss Brenham came up, and she's like, "Put it in your desk." Oh. But she did that because the most recent exam is the better one to use as a reference, not the one from 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It changes, but it doesn't change that much within a year, but it changes within 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So it's like she did those things. She risked her job just to make sure that we were getting as much help or like the best opportunity to pass. And I think as I got older, it resonated with me. Yeah. And she also told us the truth. Like when it came to like history and stuff, she was truthful.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate Mr. Cargyle as well, because like one, like he was just like so straightforward, so blunt, and it's just like before I got out of my shell of like just like being so shy and just more outgoing. That's always what I want. I was like, yo, I just don't want to hold anything in. I just want to say what it is. And that's when I was fucking up, he would tell me, you're fucking up, like you're. Like,
but you need that, especially at that age in junior high school. It's much more needed than it is in elementary school. It takes a special kind of teacher to teach junior high school. That's like the worst phase for a child. Yeah,
I remember it was a time. It was like I think it was like a Christmas break or something like that. I think I skipped class that one. I think I either skipped class or skipped school that one day. I was never like the person to like skip school. Yeah. But I don't remember what I did, but I wasn't there to get the take home packet. It was a thick ass packet.
Oh, you missed a packet? Nah, you messed up.
Mr. Cargyle, he called my mom telling her to make sure that I do the packet.
You didn't get it.
I didn't get it. So my mom is telling me like, yo, make sure like where's the packet? It's BBM days. I'm pinging niggas like, yo, who got the packet? Send me what the packet looked like. One of my mans, he showed me a picture. It was
you can't send that. You gotta go get it.
So I'm just like, I was just stuck. Like I'm at Terrence's house, just like, what am I gonna do?
I'm panicking.
So I just told my mom, like, yo, I don't have it. I don't have this packet. She calls Mr. Cargyle. Mr. Cargyle says, I know you don't have the packet because you weren't there.
Because you weren't there.
Yeah.
And teachers know.
Yeah. So I had and you know how most teachers are, like, once you miss it, like, it's quiet for you.
Right.
There's nothing you can really do about it. He gave my mom the address to his house.
He didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do that. He said, make sure Barry is in that car.
Well, he's going to have a talk with you. I
got out the car. He was like, where were you, first of all? I don't remember where I was. But I told him, I was like, yo, like, and he gave me the paper. He was like, I don't have to do this. If you did not have this packet, you would have failed. Period.
Because that big packet is a majority. Is a big part of your grade.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, stop lying to your mom. Make sure you do this shit. He's like, I'm reviewing yours first before anyone's. So, and it's just like that talk right there. It just like it just moved me in a different way because
you see that he cares.
Yeah.
And because you see that he cares, it makes you want to go to school and make you want to learn because when you're in an environment where a teacher clearly doesn't care about you, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not going in.
Yeah.
Like that's why I try to be that teacher that shows that I care. But in some cases you have to be that teacher that's like, okay, well, you didn't give it in, you didn't give it in.
Yeah.
But he did that because he either knew that you needed it, like, or just like he didn't have to, but it was nice of him to do that in the first place.
And it was, I feel like before I had his class, I was always good at math.
Right.
But in his class, I liked math because he teaches you, like, he's hands on. If you don't understand it, he's gonna go over it. Yeah.
Right. That's why a lot of people don't like math. That's actually, I forgot to tell you, that's another reason why I wanted to become a teacher. I had a teacher in 11th grade, Miss Land. She was so mean. I'm not good at math. I'm not a math or science person. It's not my thing. I could write an essay. I could do history papers. I could do everything else. I cannot do math. And it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah. And
she would just be like, well, I don't understand what you don't understand. Sis, it's trigonometry. Who understand? You went to school to study math. Exactly. I didn't go to school to study math. Mm-hmm. You can't be a teacher and talking to kids on something that's easy, because it's not. And you know it's not, because it's math. Mm-hmm. And that is another reason why I was like, I never want to, I don't want a group of students or a generation of students to feel like how I felt in that classroom. Because I had her twice. I had her for trig and I had her for calculus. Yeah. To the point where my mom had them drop calculus because she didn't want me to deal with her anymore. Because she's telling me, like, she told me one time it's so easy, her 1-year-old daughter could do it. And it's like, why are you talking to somebody's child like that?
Exactly.
It's it's one thing if I'm being disrespectful to you. Yeah. I just simply told you I didn't understand it.
I don't
and
get
that's
it.
Okay to not understand it. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do as a teacher to help me understand it? You can't be a teacher and not good at explaining things. Yeah. Because it does, especially teaching math. That's absurd. Mm-hmm. How do you teach a topic like trig and you're mad I don't understand? Right. Understand it. She's like, well, he's passing. Like the only kids that were passing with flying colors in her class were kids that were just naturally good at math. Yeah. That's not a good teacher. Mm-hmm. Like my algebra teacher worked hard to make sure that I learned. Understood. Because he knew that I wasn't clicking for me as quickly as everybody else. Mm-hmm. But I forgot to say that, sorry. I remember thinking to myself, I don't want a generation of students to feel like how I felt in that classroom. Because I felt terrible. Mm-hmm. And you never want to make your student feel bad for not understanding. Because sometimes it just doesn't click. Right.
They're not going to come to the class.
You're not making it fun. Mm-hmm. And math is already not fun. I taught math. It's not fun to teach math all the time because it's just like math is just not my thing. I'm not a big fan of math. Mm-hmm. But also when you have experiences like that, then I could say, well, I don't like math. Yeah. Why don't I like math? Because I didn't have the best experiences. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. But those are a lot of people who are teaching. And most of them do it because they either fell into it, they didn't have anything else to do, and they were good at math and found a job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because with junior high school and high school, you don't really need a 4-year degree in education to teach. Mm-hmm. You need to do your certification exams. Yeah. And it shows because they're not passionate about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like elementary school teachers are a little bit more passionate because we had to go to school studying education. Yeah. Y'all went to school, studied math, and then got your certifications. It was like, okay, I'm gonna teach. You didn't take classes to learn how to teach kids. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. That's the disconnect. And I just didn't want my students to ever feel like that. Because I felt like shit. And why would you want your students to feel like that though? Like that was my thing.
You wouldn't want anyone to feel
if I don't get it, I don't get it. Yeah. Like and I'm one of those, you know me, I'm one of those students like, do I need to come to Saturday school? Like I don't care, I wake up early, come on Saturday. I've
been to Saturday school.
I don't get it.
I've been to after school.
After school. Like she wasn't doing after school. And she wasn't doing Saturday school. And I understand you have a life. I'm a teacher now. I understand you have a life. But however, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to those students. If you can't teach those students, you have to find another teacher. Hey, can you pull aside so-and-so because she really doesn't get it? And I don't have the time or opportunity to teach in the afternoon or over the weekend. Yeah. You didn't do that because you didn't care. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't want anybody else to feel like that. I mean, people are not everybody. I can't teach everybody. I can't save the world, you know. But I just wanted to make an impact, other than what that impact was for me. So,
I remember in the beginning of the pod, I was gonna tell you that you all right?
Yeah.
No, you look.
Oh no, I'm good.
Just that. But I told you that I wanted to tell you about.
Oh yeah, you did tell me. What experience was that?
The teacher I had was Miss Baldwin. Mm-hmm. That lady, you know how when you're younger, you'll always be like, yo, the teacher, she don't like me, she has it out for me, blah, blah.
But sometimes it's true.
That lady personally had it out for me. I don't care if she doesn't even say it out of her mouth. Listen, from... Well, any given moment she had, she would use it to just pick on me because I had, like, at the time, my anger issues were just through the roof. Mm-hmm. It barely took anything to get me to snap. So she will always pick on me. She will always bother me. It's been a lot of inferences where she's gotten my anger to a different zone.
Right.
Like, I remember my mom, she said, if I interrupt the class, I will not have a birthday. That was the day, either the day of or the day before my birthday. I swear to God, it was a Friday. I swear to God, I did not say nothing that whole class.
She knew it was your birthday? Lady, huh? She knew it was your birthday?
Yes.
Right.
She knew it.
I know teachers like that.
I did not say anything. If she needed me to answer a question, I'll answer it. Period. But other than that, I wasn't saying anything. She kept picking at me to get me angry. And what happened?
You got angry.
I exploded. I'm like, why do you keep bothering me? Why do you want me to get, like, you don't want me to have a birthday?
It's like a game or something.
So I remember it was one time, it was like a science fair or something like that, right? I was stupid tired one day, just no energy. I was pretty much sleeping through the whole class. So I remember she was talking about we're about to go to the science fair, but we were just still sitting down. I fell asleep again. I wake up, the whole class is gone. She's not even in the room.
She left you in the classroom?
Yeah. So what do I do?
Didn't tell nobody. Well, you're a child, so I can't really expect.
I went right back to sleep.
Right. No, but like, as another teacher,
I didn't know who to tell.
I understand because you're a child.
And it's like I can't even tell my mom this type of stuff because I'm known to always have an attitude problem. I'm known to get my house called. So
because then it would be like, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
I got it.
So what do? I go right back to sleep. She comes in. She's telling me, "What are you doing here? You should have been." I'm like, "You left me here." So I'm going back to sleep.
You did a head count, and you didn't count me.
So I think she was like just poking me or just like trying to like get me up. I knew what I was doing, and I shouldn't have done it. But I lost my mind. Like I got up, I flipped tables, flipped chairs. I'm like, yo, why? Like I was just going crazy. They put me in an ambulance because they thought like I've like completely lost my mind. My mom didn't tell me this at the time, but recently she told me this, that they wanted to put me in special ed because of my anger issues. Not knowing that, well, she wanted to put me in special ed, Miss Baldwin.
Because she had a personal vendetta out.
Yes, she wanted to put me in special ed. My mom, she fought and fought and fought and fought and fought. And got me anger management.
Right.
So my thing is, why is it the lady's first thought to put me in special ed and just not be like, all right, so he's very angry. He gets angry very fast.
Because she don't want to deal with you. She don't want to deal with the problem. I actually wrote a paper on that, the disproportionality of black students in special education.
Yeah.
And most of them are in special education because of anger issues or emotional issues that stem from trauma at home. And teachers either don't want to be bothered with it or don't understand it, so it's easier to just put them in special ed than to just actually deal with them. And in a lot of cases, what's sad about public school also is that with the lack of funding for schools comes the lack of funding for school like counselors or psychiatrists and things like that. So as a teacher, I know if a student has an anger issue, my first instinct would be to contact a guidance counselor because now we need to talk. Is there something I'm doing? Like what's going? Is there something going on at home that you don't want to tell me, but you want to tell somebody else? You know what I'm saying? She didn't think like that.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of teachers, especially older teachers. They don't care anymore. They're burnt out. They like 10 years in, 15 years in. They don't give a damn anymore. They just in there for their pension, and that's that.
And look, and when I brought up Miss Granville as one of the teachers like that, I really have like it's near and dear to my heart.
Had an impact on you.
She went to bat for me with my mom. She's saying this boy does not deserve special ed.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with him.
Because then you'd be labeled then you would have been labeled for the rest of your school career up until 12th grade.
I looked this stuff up, and I've looked at the things that special ed students even have to go through.
Right.
And it's like I didn't need to go through that. I'm grateful I didn't go through that because I don't know how I would be now.
But how many mothers didn't go back? Either weren't educated enough, or didn't understand and didn't go to bat for their children. And ended up in special education.
It's a lot of
plenty. That's why I wrote that paper on it because I looked at the numbers. I'm like, something's not right. Why are we a minority, but we're so heavily populated in special education? And then I looked into it. Like I said, it's because it's a lot more anger issues and emotional issues that are stemmed from traumas that these children are experiencing. You know, some of these children, when you look into their home life, it's not the best. Not having food is traumatic.
Yeah.
And a lot of these children are dealing with stuff like that. Yeah. Or being the parent in the home because your parents working 2 or 3 jobs and it's not home, so you gotta raise your little sisters or whatever, or you home alone.
You gotta raise yourself. Yeah.
Right. Like a lot of those things are traumatic. You never know what's going on in a child's life or at home. And for her to do that says a lot about her character. And I'm gonna say this, like, karma is, might not hit right away, but
listen, man, I hope karma.
It's gonna hit.
I hope karma threw a brick at her.
But that's the problem. That's the problem with education.
I just got the white flag telling me to shut the fuck up.
Oh
no, cause we came a little late, so.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay, did you get what you wanted?
No, yeah. There's more, but you're gonna come back, yeah.
Okay, yeah. If the part 2 would be good if we talk about virtual school.
I'll write it down.
Virtual school. What else? You could talk about IEPs and stuff.
You'll have to school me on that.
IEP is an individualized education plan. You know how we have friends that went to resource and sets that got pulled out? Yeah. They had IEPs. And like you have like the teacher sits down with the parent, the principal, and the student, and we tell you by the end of the month you'll be able to count to 20, but by the end of the year you'll be able to count to 100. Okay. Like you set marks for that specific child.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, that'll be for part 2. But for right now, this is the 9th Period Podcast. This is my home skillet.
Home skillet.
Yeah, I heard that. I ain't hear Thick as Thieves.
All right. Home skillet.
Yeah,
that's
my
me.
Home skillet, Imani B, Principal B. Yeah, it was really a lot more I wanted to ask you, but
I mean, education is a very extensive topic.
I know I should have booked for 2 hours.
You probably should have, but it's okay. But now you know. Then maybe next time if you want to.
Yeah.
2 hours.
But all right, so this is the 9th Period Podcast. It's Barry. Okay, honestly, I don't really got nothing right now.
Iceberg.
I call myself that all the time. I try to give myself new nicknames every podcast.
Okay.
But, I was gonna say Slim something, but kind of brolic now. So.
All right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just Imani.
Yeah.
That's
Imani.
me, the teacher.
All right, we're about to get out of here. Thank you. Bye.